Hi, and welcome to a very special Coworking, a podcast about what made Coworking special. And this month, we're welcoming Szilvia from Coworking Hungary Association and a coworking space. I'm very sorry, the name is very difficult to pronounce for me, but you say much more about it later. She has been consulting in the coworking space for a long time and has been managing a home space for a year now. So we'll hear more about this. Sylvia, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. Yes, so the name is KATEDRA, Coworking in Hungarian. What is
KATEDRA.
actually, yeah. It's a link to language. It's linked to teaching this KATEDRA.
Mm.
The name in
Yes,
Hungarian.
yes.
Yeah. Hi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, great, great. Thank you. And so we met here on LinkedIn, and I was very impressed that you were. So a lot of people come into coworking because they went to a coworking, then they move cities from a big city to a town. Basically, there isn't any coworking, a bit like what you did with your coworking space, and then they fall into it. They plan it and all that, blah blah blah. But you've been in the coworking industry way before you started in your own space. When was it, and how did you start working in this industry?
Ooh, it was a long time ago. So I think the first time I entered into a co-working was in 2011. So
Mhm.
approx 10, 12 years ago.
Yes.
The first co-workings actually opened in Budapest, Hungary, the capital of Hungary, in 2008. So
Mhm.
I think it was just the first years of co-working movement in Hungary when I
Yes.
just entered into one of them, and I realized that wow, this is also happening in
Yes.
the 2000s years. Is it real that people who are not colleagues, they are just working under the same roof, they are having coffee, having lunch, but they are not working for the same company? So I was just absolutely
Yes.
um, amazed by the fact that you can work this way as well. And also, that was the first time when I met the idea of freelancing. I was an
Mhm.
employee in a multinational company. You can imagine I had no freelancer or even entrepreneur uh, relatives or friends or anyone. So this was an extremely inspiring space for me, this
Mhm.
co-working. And since 2011, when I first entered a co-working, I think it just took 1 or 2 weeks when I had the feeling that okay, I want to work in these, I want to work in co-workings, and at one point in my life, I want to have my own co-working as well.
Well, so it was really love at first sight, and
Absolutely,
within a few
absolutely.
days, you decided this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, but I just really felt that okay, it's
Mhm.
something very new. It's something unique. It's a new trend, so I have to learn a lot. So I started learning
Mhm.
first
Yes.
about freelancing. Then, because I've just realized that if I'm an employee, I just cannot run a co-working. So I first have to learn how to do freelancing. So that was the first step, and then I started to learn about co-workings. I'm a marketing and
Mhm.
communication professional, so I offered my help to co-workings. I've also organized lots of events together with co-workings to
Mhm.
freelancers. So we had Freelancer Festival in Budapest. We had Freedom X Fest for digital nomads in
Mhm.
Budapest and also in Spain,
Yes.
in the Pyrenees. So it was super exciting. And then when I moved from Budapest, the capital, to the countryside, to a beautiful city, Veszprém, what was European Capital of
Mhm.
Culture last year. So it's an amazing city. There was no co-working here. So I started to
Yes.
work extremely hard on having a co-working here. I tried to find partners in that. So I contacted all the freelancers in the city. I
Mhm.
contacted the city hall.
Yes.
And it wasn't easy. So there was lots of
Mhm.
ups and downs during like 5 years. There was lots of ideas, concrete places what we visited. We made the business
Yes.
plan. We made the layout plans. But finally, after like 5 6 years, we found the right partner, the right place.
Yes.
It's just simply the place I was dreaming about. So there's lots of
Yeah. Oh.
sunshine. Um,
Hmm.
there's parking places. What's
Yeah.
not
It's
easy to
important.
find, city center or close, not city center, but very close to the city. Lots of restaurants and bars here. I mean, where you can just grab something for
Hmm.
lunch. There's an opportunity to increase size. So currently we are on 120 square meters.
Hmm.
So it's not a big place, but if you want to just increase the size, there's
Would be possible.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back with the beginning in 2011 when you learn about co-working, freelancing, and entrepreneurship, because that's also what it is about. How easy or difficult was it in Hungary 2011 to switch from being an employee from a big corporation, I understand, to a freelancer and an entrepreneur?
Honestly, it wasn't easy. So that time there was nothing about freelancing in
Hmm.
Hungarian. So there was no conference, no meetup, no articles, no maybe some blogs about
Hmm.
digital nomadism. So the very sexy side of freelancing, but there was there was no knowledge exchange amongst freelancers. So there was no forum for them. So
Yes.
in coworkings, I've just found a couple of other folks who were in the same situation, that they switched from employment, or they one of them was fresh graduate. So we just said that,
Hmm.
okay, let's start learning this whole story together. Let's start
Yes.
organize meetups, and after the meetups, we said that, okay, let's see, what if we just announce that we are organizing a festival. And
Yeah.
finally, we had like 150 participants at the first freelancer festival, what we
Wow.
organized together with one of the biggest co-workings in
When was that?
with
That's first festival.
when
Yes. Do
uh
you remember?
2017. So it took some time.
Yeah, but that's normal. You were saying there was nothing. It wasn't well known. Most people didn't choose to be a freelancer. It wasn't a common path. So it's something completely brand new. You're trying to get into bit by bit, and bit by bit, I understand you also built a team with whom you organized all this. No?
Yeah, I think the first meetup
Mhm.
we organized was in 2013.
Yeah.
Uh, and the Freelancer Festival was in 2017, March,
Mhm.
so the very beginning of the year. Then, after the festival, we realized that it was so cool, and lots of freelancers introduced themselves.
Yeah.
They shared, so we chose a format where they could share their story, how they started,
Mhm.
how they get clients,
Mhm.
how they run their business, how they are trying to be more effective and things like this. And we said that, okay, it's we should just somehow record or reshare these stories. And then we just decided that we start a blog, but this actually became rather an online magazine than blog, but it's called freelancerblog.hu. So it's a Hungarian
Yes.
online magazine for freelancers. There are like 150 articles about freelancing there. So it's this whole story is it was 6 years anniversary this February when we launched Freelancer blog.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Nice.
yeah, but it's just so nice to just look back to these years, because everything what we learned, what we did regarding
Mhm.
freelancing,
Yes.
this was always together with one or more co-workings in
Mhm.
Hungary. So because this how freelancers is their main target group, or was their main target group. So we had lots of brainstormings together.
Mhm.
So it just happened in
Yeah,
parallel.
it's very complementary, peanut butter and jelly to have the co-working and the freelancer. It's they join each other pretty much.
Yes, however, what I see
Mhm.
today,
Yes.
that freelancers, so they were the target group, and they were the group of people who just kicked off this whole story of co-workings. But now, today, for example, in our co-workings in Veszprém,
Yes.
there are at least the same amount of people who are home office remote workers. They are not freelancers, they are employees, but remote, they are working remotely, and they are just tired of being at home all the time, and they just discovered co-working as well.
Yeah.
And there's another.
Would you say that's the impact of the pandemic and the
Yep.
lockdowns? More and more people started working remotely, and they didn't want to stay home, so they went to co-working spaces.
Yeah, and also companies. So I truly believe that if you have less than 5 people in your team as a company, it's just no point in having an office, a standard office. So, but it's also not really good if you are not meeting at all. So, but having co-workings days once a week or once a month, 2 times a month, that's absolutely, I think it's the future. So this is how small teams will work together.
And it's small teams, small companies, but also small teams in big companies could have that too.
Yes, it's happening. Yeah, the thing is that I don't know what's the situation in other countries in Europe, but in Hungary, it's still it's not black and white. So there are companies who believe, and but all the news are the same. For example, from the US as well, some of the companies believe in office
Back
working.
to the office.
Yeah, and they force people to come back to the office. Other guys, other companies, they just said that okay, so if this is what you want, if you want to be at home 2 days a week, fine, let's do it. Or even the fully remote work mode. It's happening in Hungary as well at many companies.
It's starting.
Yeah.
So while working on all those freelance initiatives, you also started to understand the Coworking Hungary Association at some point.
Yes. So the thing is that there are not that many co-workings in Hungary. So in total, currently there are 30, 40, I think. It depends on what kind of places you just list under co-workings, because there are many different co-working concepts. Also very small ones, when someone just rents out a flat and says that, okay, this is a co-working, I'm working here, there are 3 more spots, come and join us. That's also a nice idea, I think, and that's fine. But on the other side of the landscape, there's the big folks, the big guys, where large international office companies, they are just building huge offices, and they just dedicate one floor or say that one floor is co-working, but actually there's no real community building. So it's just kind of a hub for other guys who are renting offices, normal standard offices in the building. It's just some extra space what they can use.
Yes.
So, but in total, there's like 30, 40 co-workings. And when I've started to think on that, we should start some community building amongst co-working owners, I already knew many of them, majority of them. So I started to ask them that, okay, it's fine that you know me, that many co-working offices know me, but don't you want to meet other guys who are in the same situation, who are running co-working office? And they said, yes, that would be amazing. So I think last year around September, I've called a couple of the co-working owners and said that, okay, what if we just start an association? What should be the content of it? And we said that, okay, we start this Coworking Hungary Association. We have mostly online calls, and we try to meet at least two times a year live in person. This is happening next on the 22nd of May, what is actually European Co-working Day. So we will meet in Budapest together with the members of the association. We have some team building and things like this. And we launched a website, coworkinghungary.hu. So all the members are listed there. And it's just nice that all during these monthly calls, we just start with some sharing that, okay, what's going on in Budapest, in Sikra office, what's going on in Veszprém, in my office, what's going on in Szeged, what is also a small
Catching up.
city in Hungary. And it's just so nice that you can share your concerns, your successes with someone. So it's
Yeah, I'm always surprised by how collaborative co-working space owner always are, because you could say that they might have been scared to talk with competitors, that they're adversary, enemies, and not allies. So, but it sounds like you didn't you didn't receive that kind of reaction.
To be honest, I was pretty much afraid of that, even though my belief is that coworkings are not competitors, even though they are in the same city or in the next street, because all the coworkings are different, and the heart of coworking is always the community, and it cannot be compared. So you just cannot have the same style, you cannot have the same setup, you cannot have the same community manager profile in different offices. And this is I was a little bit afraid, and this is why I just first I made this market research, and I called all the owners that, what do you think about it? Would you be happy to share your successes, your secrets, your challenges with other owners? And all of them said that, sure. So we are all in the same situation. This is a new trend. We are learning it, and there was no problem. And since that, so yeah, we are having these meetings since 6 months now. There was nothing regarding this. So they are so happy about each other's successes. We just, when for example, a new office opened in March in Budapest, Coffees. So it's a coffee and an office, a co-working office as well. And all of them just, they were just so happy that there's a new member, an exciting member. They gave all the help she needed, for example, with the contracts, with data policies and things like this. So it's a real community. It's starting to be a real community.
Because you were saying you called them last year, so it's quite brand new.
Yeah.
So it's taking good, and it's great to hear how warm welcomes they give to the new member, because as you know, opening a new space is a big adventure, big roller coaster, because you opened yours about a year ago. So many things happened a year ago, huh?
Yep. many things. I've already had some experience with co-working operation, because I was working for a co-working and co-living in the Balaton Uplands. So it's a very touristic area. So I knew that what can I expect if I open something so on an operational level. So what are the things I need to be prepared for? So it was not that a huge surprise. However, having the full responsibility, even though I have co-founders with me, so yeah, that was tough. But we opened on the 1st of June, so we are just having the first birthday very soon. And we thought that last summer we thought that it's going to be a smooth opening. So it's just a couple of people will visit us because they are on holidays and things like this. But actually it happened differently. So we had many co-workers in the summertime who just disappeared in the autumn. So we are still learning and experiencing the seasonality of our co-workings, what is different in each and every case. So if you are in a big city, that's different. If you are in a small village, not so touristic, that's different. So it's just lots of experiments. Um,
Yes.
we are just testing different revenue streams. So we not only have the
Mm.
co-working, but
Mhm.
we have coaching room, what is pretty successful right now. So we have lots of coaches who just organize their meetings with clients here.
Mhm.
We have a workshop room as well. That's also okay-ish. And we have a private office. So actually, these are the three revenue streams what you can mainly have at a co-working. Co-working passes, meeting rooms, and private office. So
Mhm.
I said that after 1.5 year, 1.5 year, we will have way more clarity about the future. So
Yeah.
that what we can expect in terms
Mhm.
of the ratio of these different revenue streams.
Mhm.
As I said that
Yes.
what would be nice that one third should come from passes, one third should come from the meeting rooms, and one third from a private office. We
Mhm.
will see. We are not there.
Yeah. What about an event space? So a bigger space than a meeting room to host a event.
It's tricky. It would be nice, but
Mhm.
currently it's not available in a form what is in line with the current design. So we are in an older
Mm.
building. What uh, one part of the building was refurbished, and the large meeting room was not. So
Mm.
thinking on if we need that for so if it's going to support our business better than, for example, building more phone booths, because
Mm.
because this is what I see at all the members of Coworking Hungary, but also
Yes.
in other coworkings as well, that the whole working style and setup has changed so much, and people have lots of online meetings during the day. So
Mhm.
we need
Mhm.
to be prepared as a co-working to have as many phone booths as you can. So it cannot happen that someone who is at the co-working and have the online call during the day just cannot make it in privacy.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I was thinking about a co-working space I went to, and they had a world big terrace where you could have video calls there. But as you say, it's not private. It's for more casual calls. But when you work with confidential information and things like that, you cannot just have it in the open. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. And you were talking about having a co-founder. Do you feel that's a necessity when opening a new space?
Um, not, it depends.
Mm-hmm.
Some if it's a small place, then it can work if you are alone. But
Mm-hmm.
if there are more than like 10 desks, what you are planning in your co-working, it's just so nice to have someone you can just share all the responsibilities. So
Struggles.
many co-working founders or future founders
Yes.
believe that okay, it's fine if I'm not there because there's there's a system that there's a card or a key or something, so coworkers can get into the place even if I'm not there. But it's not working, or it's not working in the first few years of the after opening. So i- when you have someone who is just visiting your co-working space since 1 year now, then fine, you can give the key, and okay, if you want and if I'm not there, you can get in. But the whole idea behind co-working is the community.
Yes.
So if you are not there as a founder, you just need to make sure
Mm.
that someone who can just dedicate some time during her or his day to talking to the co-workers, grabbing a coffee together or something,
Yes.
um, You just have to make sure that it's happening, and this is where
Mm-hmm.
a co-founder can help a lot. So
Yes.
what we've just discovered, that running a place the same size as ours, like 150 square meters, 120 square meters, around 15 desks, 3 or 4 people can easily manage the whole
Mm-hmm.
space. I mean, that we can just schedule each other to the certain days. We can still do our daily job, but
Mm-hmm.
with three or 4 people, you can just manage a place easily.
Yeah, interesting. And so that's about your own co-working space. We talk about your association. You've been freelancing and entrepreneuring in the co-working space for a few years. And what's next then? Do you have some plan, or do you want just to keep going with all those new projects you have?
Um, One thing that I'm just super interested in village offices. So not necessarily village, but cities under 100,000 inhabitants. So
Mm-hmm.
villages, small towns, and small cities. So that story is just completely different from co-workings in the capitals or in big cities, where where there are foreigners, there are digital nomads, there are companies, there are startups, and things like this.
Mm-hmm.
In smaller cities, the co-workings have a completely different role. So they can just serve as a meeting point for the creatives, for the whole creative ecosystem. So this is what I'm
Mm-hmm.
just trying to build up here in Veszprém, to make our co-working the meeting point for startups, for university students who are interested in
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship or any innovation, for all the entrepreneurs, all the freelancers, all the progressive
Mm-hmm.
companies. So kind of creative hub. Um,
Yes.
so this is one thing. So my focus is absolutely on the countryside, not only in Hungary but in other countries as well. So to just learn and see that how co-workings in the countryside can operate, and how can they be part of the whole ecosystem, and
Mm-hmm.
how can you make it profitable, or at least uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Sustainable. Yeah.
sustainable, because that's also not an easy story. That's one
No.
thing. The other is um, I just really would like to help as much as I can to newcomers, even if they are just opening, or they, for example, I have in the association guys who just there was an as existing co-working,
Mm-hmm.
but the owner said that okay, we are not doing this anymore, they are just finishing this business, and someone just took this whole story, took it over. So
Oh.
kind of a newcomer, no
Mm-hmm.
experience. So this is where I'm trying to have more. And what I see that is there's the lack of knowledge is a community building. So the profile of the community manager, the role of the community manager. So this is where many co-workings need help. So this is what I'm thinking on, actually, to how can I create a training program or something what could
Yes.
have
A
co-workings.
blueprint.
Kind of. It's rather it's rather people focus. So
Mm-hmm.
what is the profile of the great the the good
Yeah.
community manager? So what are the things
Mm.
even if you
Yes.
are as the founder the community manager, or if you want to hire someone, what are
Mm-hmm.
the things you need to take care of or keep in mind? So
Yeah, no, that's great because you have started the association already, so that's a big help. You have your own space, and you're again still thinking about others and how you could keep on helping them more.
yeah, it's just so strong, this mission
Yes.
for me. So what
Mm.
I'd like to
Mm-hmm.
achieve is just having at least 100 coworkings in Hungary. So I think in 5-10 years we might reach
I
this
think it's
goal.
possible because I see in some countries that when I talk to coworking owners, coworking sure is well known. It's more known than before. People are working more and more remotely, so it's taken in, but it's not mainstream yet. A lot of people still work at the office, or if they don't work at the office, they to work from home. So don't necessarily think about coworking or about going to coworking regularly. Maybe the decision of the employee or of the company, you know. So it's taking it bit by bit, but it's only the start.
Yeah, it's happening. There's huge
It's
potential in
happening.
coworkings for sure.
Well, we believe that. We're passionate about it. So, before we leave here, is there one last thing you'd like to share?
Connect with other co-working. So if you are thinking to run a co-working space, or you are already started your own place, it's just a huge help if you talk with other co-working owners. So it's just lots of knowledge at these co-workings individually. So if you just share these knowledges together in the city, in the country, in the region, that will just make this whole movement progress lot faster and faster. So it's something new. It's a new trend. We all start to learn how to do this. So there's a couple of years of experience with co-workings, at least in our region. But if you share that knowledge with others, you can just move so much faster than alone. So this is what I just like to share with all the future founders and current owners.
Yeah, fantastic. And thank you so much for sharing your own journey and your own learnings, and that we never stop learning, basically.
That's true.
If people want to know more about what you're doing, about Coworking Hungary Association and your own coworking space, and just reach out to you, what's the best way to contact you?
The best way is on LinkedIn. So I'm pretty active and I just like the platform. So you can contact me on LinkedIn as Szilvia Filep, and also coworkinghungary.hu. So on the website, you can find an email address. I'm the one who is managing that. So there you can directly
It's not a
contact
robot.
me. Yeah. So, and at least you can just check the Hungarian offices as well.
Fantastic. I add those two in the comments so people can easily contact you. And that's it for this month. Thank you so much, Szilvia, to talk about all those initiatives you're doing for co-working spaces. It means a lot.
Thank you so much for the invitation. It was so nice to meet you and talk to you funny. So
I'm
I'm
here.
following up the things. And one more thing. So anyone who is just planning to come to Co-working Europe conference in Sofia in November, I'll be there. So see you there.
See you there. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.